It's there. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Meet Magento, Florida 2025. How's everyone doing? Glad Ben is in the house with his outfit. That's awesome. That's awesome. Aren't you all excited to get this day started, right? So am I. So am I. All right. So briefly, before we get going and before we open for business, I wanted to appreciate this amazing venue and give a huge round of applause for staff at Hard Rock. They've been very, very accommodating. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Gabriel. Thank you, Charvel, Dwayne, entire team, Luis, Kenny, everybody. Thank you so much. Well, brief introduction about me. My name is Ravi Mittal, for those who don't know, and I'm your host and organizer for this conference. As a host, I get to speak to a lot of you, get to know you, and during those conversations, I found out that some of you think that my main thing is to plan events, which is not true, I do more than that, and I'm capable of doing more than that, So I thought that this year I should probably do a better job of introducing myself and my team. Fair enough, right? So I run and operate two companies, Rave Digital, which is a full-service e-commerce agency. We are proud Adobe partner. Thank you, Adobe, for sponsoring this. And then our main focus is Magento implementation, Adobe Commerce Cloud implementation. On the other side, we have Aheadworks.com. We have 54 extensions. We have 11 SaaS applications that we have added to our portfolio. We have won 4 awards for our extensions, so we are proud of that. And then we leverage those extensions, those apps into our deliveries for faster, better quality deliveries. And that is our biggest unique value proposition. On an average, a brand uses our products for 7 to 8 years. And on an average, a brand uses our agency services for 4.5 years without any long-term contract. And now with this conference that is growing year over year by 20-25%, this is kind of becoming my third full-time job. And that's a lot of work, right? But could I have done that without the help of my incredible team that is here? So I would ask my team members to please stand up. They said that not to do that, but I would ask, come on, Nicole, stand up. I would ask them to stand up, please, wherever you are. Wherever you are. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Alex, the entire team, Abi, Ina. Akansha, she's not here. She's very instrumental, and she runs back office for this conference. So really appreciate this so much, The reason we are, you heard that I mentioned that we're growing 20-25%. The reason we are growing as well is because we set for ourselves 3 core values as organizer of this conference. And I had a buy-in from each and every team member of mine. And they are sincerity and commitment, transparency and value-driven. We are extremely sincere and very committed for this event to happen years to come. And while doing that, we want to ensure that it is of huge value to each one of you guys. And when I run and operate that, I want to run and operate that with full transparency, right? So how do we make sure that this is of value to our attendees, So we add new components every year. We try to add new components to this conference. This year, we added sponsor-only, a sponsor volunteer members of the community dinner on February 4th. So we started the conference with a pre-conference dinner. We added another workshop in addition to a technical workshop. We'll talk about it more. We have a third learning track, which is case study. On this track, a brand or merchant will, alongside with a tech vendor partner or an agency partner, will come and talk to you about what are their pain points, what are their growing needs, and what is the solution that was put in place, and what was the outcome of it, right? So those are the stories that I really learned from. So that is an incredible track that we added. In addition to that, we are going to have a very structured roadmap session today, and where members and thought leaders from the community will come and put their heads together to discuss future of Magento. And to bring that full circle, we are going to debrief you towards the end of the day in the closing note. So Ritesh, Matthias, yeah, hi. And myself will get on the stage and will debrief you on the outcome of that session, because follow-through is very, very important. Now, to keep things transparent, we request, we send out survey, and this year we'll do the same, so please take it. Your feedback helps us improve the components of this conference. 94% of people said that they found value in this conference, in attending or sponsoring or whatever they are doing. But we received some feedback as well. One of the feedback was that we need to have more vegan, vegetarian options. Those small things makes a lot of difference, so we have added that. Another feedback was we wanted to have some seating area for rest of the people. So in addition to showing love to our sponsors, having a sponsor-only meeting area, we have also created a meeting area for all attendees. You can rest those legs. Now, another thing that we do, and we have been doing that, I think from last year, we did not do it the first year, is that we publish the logos of the companies that are attending this conference within one business day of them registering for the conference, within one business day. I mean, and to speak to that as well, my team intends to publish those pictures, photos, and videos from this conference within 7 to 10 days. Can I commit to that, please? Can I commit to that? We did that in record 7 days, so I'm hoping that we don't get sloppy and we do the same this year as well. Anyhow, so back to the, we segment them and we make it easy for you as well, and we divide them into these 3 segments that come to this conference, which is the brands, the merchants, the tech vendors, and the agencies. Now, you heard third core value is value-driven, right? So the main reason people come to this conference is to learn, right? That's another thing that if you come to conference which are organized by me, then fun will be a bigger component. But we come here to learn and get some nuggets and apply to our businesses. And how do we do that is through the learning tracks that will be open after the keynote by Chirag. So we will have 3 learning tracks, as I mentioned earlier. On these tracks, each and every submission that was received was evaluated by a member of 8 committee panel member, right? And they evaluated this year, instead of doing technical and business separate, they evaluated all of them. And they do this is all volunteer position, so I really wanted to thank everybody on the selection committee panel. Give a round of applause for. Now, this year we wanted definitely content, the delivery of the content, the quality of the content, diverse topics, they are important, right? So this year, to improve the process further, we requested Heather. Where is Heather? Heather, I don't see you. Is she here? No. Okay, Heather, we requested Heather Negro to work with each and every approved speakers, collaborate with them, and give first round of feedback. And that's a lot of time on the 3 tracks, and she did that. She reached out. So that's a lot of volunteer hours she put in. So thank you, special thanks to Heather for doing that. In addition to that, we last year did the same, but we offer a 1 hour of free coaching to all of our speakers to button up their presentation, to work on their delivery from an award-winning keynote speaker. He has written more than 10 books about public speaking. So those who have taken advantage of that, that definitely adds, to your presentation skills. Now, enough about how great of a job we do, let's talk about why are you here, what is in it for you, right? Definitely we are all here in it to win it, but why are you here? So they are for these 3 goals that any conference for that matter that you come for. That is learning, networking, and fun. And that is embedded into our mission statement, right? So would you please, can I ask you to read this mission statement alongside with me on a count of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. To bring this Magento community together for immense learning, collaborative networking, and memorable fun. Yeah, that sounded a little cheeky. Though. Okay. Yeah, in my rehearsal, I was thinking like I should ask you again. I did not hear you loud enough. Okay, can you do it? But it sounded so cheeky that I skipped that. Okay, all right, cool. Now, how do we ensure that these goals are embodied into the components of this conference. So for that, let's look at what we did yesterday. So we did, as I said, we did 2 workshops. One was a technical workshop taken by the professor of our community. Where is Mark? Do I see you? Hi, Mark. Yeah, there's too much light here, so I can't see you. Anyhow, so thank you, Mark, for taking that. He did last year as well. This year, the topic is about debugging Magento code, which I don't know much about, but I can appreciate that. The second was a business workshop taken by Nicole Donnelly from DMG. I don't see you, but anyhow, she was here. So this is the additional workshop that I was talking that we added. Workshops are, these are 90 minutes, so you can go deeper into a topic. So a combination of workshop and all these learning sessions, it's a very good combination. In addition to that, we had a networking component taken by our very own Marsha Naidu. Thank you for doing that again this year. Thank you for running with it. Thank you for volunteering for that. So I really appreciate all of these 3 guys. Give a round of applause for all of these. Well, in addition to that, we had a good networking happy hour. The purpose of this happy hour is for our attendees to collaborate and interact and get to know the products and services of our sponsors, because without the help of sponsors, these kind of events are not possible. Then we opened the floor last year for very targeted ancillary events where group of 20 to 30 people, invite only taken by our sponsors. There was dinner at Kuro, there was Abiaka, Mejbit. So there were 5 things going around the property. And the purpose of that is that you can take the conversation that we had in happy hour further, and you can go deeper into that conversation. It just helps, right? So thank you for taking that Council Oak. I was there. It was a different format. It was a round table kind of conversational. Our guy, Mayor from BMayor and Rich Panel, they are our first time, platinum sponsor. They took it. So thank you for doing that. Yep. And in the night, some of us, couldn't help ourselves when we lost some money on that, and some people won there. I thankfully, stayed away from it, but, I will do that probably tonight, so we did that. After I get off stage, then we will get updates from our own very Mr. Ritesh Mani, so he will take the stage, and then we'll get update from Mr. Matthias Schreiber from Magento Association, doing excellent thing. I really have been, I always thought that there has to be more love and attention and full-time dedicated person that needs to be given to the association, and Matthias is doing just the same. So thank you guys, thank you in advance. And after that, we will have a keynote by, I saw Chirag somewhere. Chirag is here somewhere. Where are you, Chirag? Okay, no, I can't see you. So yeah, so Chirag is a very renowned keynote speaker. 9 to 5, he works for Google. And then he works with global brands in dissecting marketing strategies and coming up with actionable plan through his this framework that he comes up with, brand clarity framework, which I'm looking forward to hearing more about as well. I have spoken briefly with him, but I want to listen to what that is about. In the evening at 4:30 p.m., we will be honored by presence of CEO of Chewy, Sumit Singh. He will be taking. It's a $12 billion company. It's a amazing. Though they are using other Adobe products and they are not using Adobe Commerce, but we thought that it's commerce, and it will be an interesting thing to have a conversation with him. So we'll do that at 4:30. Briefly, I'm just trying to wrap my head around, what should I say about him? Sumit joined Chewy board in 2018, and he was asked to become a CEO and promoted CEO in 2018 itself. And he took a bold move to take Chewy public in June of 2019. At that time, Chewy was closing their 2018 year 3.5 billion in sales, and with a net EBITDA loss of 229, don't quote me on that, but around that kind of loss, so it was a loss-making company. And he raised $1 billion through the IPO, and they will be closing 2024 with 12.9 no, 11.6 billion in sales and around 550 million in net EBITDA profit, adjusted EBITDA profit. So remarkable journey, but in addition to that, he's an amazing human being. I know him very personally. So I know, and every time I sit down with him, I learn a lot from him. So I'm looking forward to that. And the excitement, I skipped the middle part of it. So after the keynote, we will open up for learning tracks, the 3 learning tracks I've been talking about. Please scan this barcode. This does not even give you, this not only gives you all the sessions that we're going to have, but it will also have the conference hall map and the property map. So what's going on where? So download and save that. I'm still asked and stopped and asked that where is the sponsor room? Where is this, So all the information is on the website, but please download this. We talked about the learning tracks on the case study, as I said, it's said and understood that the information is well retained when it is told in form of stories, right? So case studies are just that, as I said. And then, would you agree that a pain point or growing needs of a bigger brand is much different from a smaller brand or from different industry vertical, right? So we have tried our best to have a perfect amalgamation of large enterprise brands and smaller brands here come and share their story with you. Give a round of applause for our speakers on this newly crafted track, yeah? And here are our speakers on business track. Not only, so interesting fun fact, right? That 25 to 30% of the speakers are coming from out of United States. Around 35 sponsors are coming from out of United States. And same thing with the attendee, that is the ratio, right? That is pretty much, it's a long flight to come and attend this conference. So I don't know why I talked about that, but I wanted to thank you all, the speakers on this track. We will then have the third track, the technical track. On all of these tracks, we have tried to cover diverse topics. AI is very heavy. We have like 3 talks on AI, cache warming, optimization, Adobe Commerce Tool. There are a lot of topics, and I'm looking forward to a few of them very specifically. And we added one more interesting was, Amit will take it from Rich Panel. He will talk to you about how to use AI for recruiting. I mean, and when I looked at the demo, it has nothing to do with commerce, but I thought that we all recruit, right? We are running businesses, so I thought that it will be a good idea for that topic to be added to a business track as well. I would trust these MCs to keep these tracks on track, okay? So please do that. Please be on time. I wanted to thank Adobe, for definitely supporting this Magento community, and you don't get credit enough. We have Parul here, who runs the community initiatives. Ritesh is here from the payment services. Harrison is here from payment services. And Neetu is here. I know Neetu is here, came in last night. It's a lot of travel, a lot of energy, and there's a lot of support that you guys do. And definitely Kalpesh, Hitarth must be here somewhere. So these guys were on selection committee. So there's a lot of contribution that you guys are doing in your own shape and form, and it goes underappreciated, in my opinion, to a certain extent. And so thank you for doing that. I want to thank our platinum sponsors, PayPal. Patrick should be here, Liquid Web, MageBit, 01, Rich Panel. Many of you guys are doing this for the first time. So thank you for sponsoring, because it is not possible to hold such an event without the help of your sponsors. Let's appreciate our gold sponsors, Avalara.digital, Bold, JetRails, Improntus, Colibur. Thank you for sponsoring. Thank you all our silver sponsors. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you for contributing to this conference. I want to thank all the showcase and general sponsors. In general, we have had this year 27 sponsors. We had 21 booths on the expo hall. So in terms of sponsorship, we are growing, again, as I said, 20-25%. And these sponsorships are really, really important, helpful. So thank you for contributing to the community. Now, what will we do today? So, definitely we need to do some homework before you all get playtime, if I can say that, right? So we will do homework today, but, The playtime will be extremely rewarded. Believe me, I believe in that, and I truly say it from the bottom of my heart, So we will have a lot of fun. We will have dinner by the pool. By the way, it's not pool, party. It's not a pool party, so don't bring your swimming trunks. Somebody did that last year. It's a dinner by the pool with some live music, and then we will not end the night there. At 10:30, we have rented the entire nightclub, Entice nightclub. Ben will be there. There are no boxes this year. Okay, just FYI. And then tomorrow, for those who are staying in the town, we will go to the beach and relax. It is nothing, pizzas, beer, and whoever wants to jet ski, they can do that. Well, that's in the conclusion, I wanted to thank, and let's give a huge round of applause right now for sponsors, speakers, each one of you guys who is attending this conference, sponsoring this conference with your valuable time. I really appreciate. Cheers to immense learning, collaborative networking, and memorable fun. Thank you, guys. Thank you.